Hi everyone, it's Tatiana from Tatiana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. So today we're going to be making a fabulous cake recipe. So I know you guys have been waiting for my next cake. Today we're making a white chocolate cake with lemon buttercream and raspberry filling. So if you like your cake to be zesty and fruity, this is the cake recipe for you. So the white chocolate cake layers are so fantastic. They kind of remind me of shortcakes. They have a nice, dense, spongy-like texture, and I especially love the lemon buttercream. Has a nice sour kick to it, which really brings the whole cake together. So for these fabulous little raspberry macaroons, these are actually my own, and I have a separate video recipe. I'll put the video link in the video description below. If you want to make them, they're really going to bring your cake up a notch. So let's get started on our cake batter. Into a large bowl, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar. To that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of semi-melted butter. I've just left this on the countertop for a few hours. Scrape that in, and we're just going to use my whisk and stir this until everything is well combined. Next, we're going to add 3 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, pour that right in, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and just use your whisk and combine everything together. And now for my dry ingredients, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Just take a spoon and combine that. I'm gonna use a fine mesh strainer to sift my flour in. I'm gonna do this in small batches. So this will ensure I don't get any clumps. Just give it a stir after each addition. And I'm gonna add my flour alternating with 1 cup of whole milk. And my final ingredient is 6 ounces of melted chocolate. So I just place the chocolate in a small bowl and then microwave it for about 2 minutes, stirring it every 15 to 20 seconds until it's nice and smooth. So I'm just gonna pour that all in and then just use a spatula to fold it in. Today I'm going to be using 2 8-inch cake pans that I've lined with parchment paper, and I sprayed down the sides with some nonstick spray. So now I'm just going to pour my cake batter, just divide it evenly between the 2 pans. And I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And these are going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. While our cake is cooling, we can work on our frosting. So I have 4 sticks or 2 cups of softened butter. I'm gonna place them into my mixer bowl. And I'm gonna whisk the butter on high speed for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's really light and fluffy. To my butter, I'm gonna add 1 8-ounce brick of softened cream cheese and whisk that until it's well combined. And now for the rest of our ingredients. I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of cream. You can also use milk. We're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Gonna give that lots of flavor. Next, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of citric acid. So it looks like a granulated sugar, and this is gonna make our frosting really zesty and sour. So if you can't find citric acid, you can use about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice instead. Sprinkle it in. I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt, about 1/8 teaspoon. And to add some of that nice yellow color, I'm gonna add a few drops of gel food coloring. So add that right in and just give this a good whisk. And now I'm ready to add my confectioner's sugar. So I'm gonna add about 3.5 cups today. You can adjust the sugar to your liking. So if you want your frosting to be thicker, you can add more. If you want it to be a little bit thinner, you can always add less. So while you're mixing this, make sure to scrape down the sides of your bowl pretty frequently just to get everything well combined. I have my frosting all done, and now for the rest of our ingredients. So in a small bowl, I have 2.5 cups of fresh raspberries. You can also use frozen, and I'm just taking a fork and mashing them together so we have a nice raspberry sauce. And we're gonna use this to fill the inside of our cake with. And I also have a small jar of lemon curd. So if you don't want to make your own, you can always just purchase a small jar. Store-bought will work just fine in this recipe. Once your cake layers have cooled completely, you want to take a long serrated knife and cut them down the middle so you have a total of 4 layers. And now we have everything ready to put our cake together. So I'm going to place a small little dollop of frosting on the bottom here, and this will help hold that first layer in place. All right, so let's start off with one layer. Place it into the center here. For each cake layer, I'm gonna plop on there a nice generous amount of frosting and just use a spatula and spread it evenly to the edges. Next, we're gonna follow with our raspberry. So I'm gonna put half of the raspberry filling on the first layer. Just take a fork or a spoon and just spread it evenly to the edges. And I love using fresh raspberries in this cake. It's gonna add so much great fruity flavor. So for the middle layer, I'm gonna add my lemon curd, and I'm gonna add about half a cup of it right into the center. Use your spatula and just spread it evenly. It's getting lots of that nice lemony flavor right in the middle of the cake. And I'm gonna add my remaining raspberries onto my third cake layer. And I'm gonna top things off with my last cake layer. And now I'm gonna seal off the top and sides with my first layer of frosting. So this is gonna be our crumb coat. So this is like a rough coating of frosting. You wanna just even off the sides and seal everything in with your spatula. So after you do the crumb coat, you want to place the cake into the refrigerator for about 20-25 minutes just to let that outer layer of frosting set up. And now for our final layer of frosting, I'm going to put a nice coat on the outside here. And I'm loving this new decorating table I got. So it's made by Ateco, and they sell tons of professional cake decorating products. They also make, like this offset spatula, which is perfect for decorating. So if you're really into, making lots of desserts and sweets, this is definitely the cake stand for you guys. I actually regret not getting it earlier. It's so easy to decorate cakes with. It's just perfect. So just take your spatula and spread the frosting evenly all over the sides. Just seal everything up nicely. And I'm also really liking this flat bench scraper you can use on the sides of the cake to really even it out. It's such a great tool, especially for cake decorating. And now for decorating their cake, I transferred the rest of my frosting into a pastry bag tipped just a plain circle tip. We're just gonna make little dollops of frosting where we wanna place our cookies. And then for each dollop, we're just gonna top it off with a macaron cookie. And now it's time to give our cake a try. So today I'm having just a small little piece, and my husband and I officially started our countdown. We have 3 months to go to our Mexico trip. We're going down there for our 5-year anniversary, so we have to get in shape a little bit, so I have to watch my sweets now. I'm gonna get a little slice of this cake here. And I love to add even some more fresh raspberries on the top when I'm serving this. Just adds a little bit more fruitiness. Wow, you guys are gonna absolutely love this. This cake has so many fantastic flavors. You get tons of that nice fresh raspberry, such a great combination with the white chocolate cake layers. They're a little bit on the sweeter side, but everything is so balanced. You get that raspberry and then that sour lemon buttercream. Such a fantastic finish to this cake. You guys are gonna absolutely love this cake. So give it a try, and if you do, share a picture with me on Instagram. I love to see you guys' creations. Also, don't forget to share with all your family and friends, and I'll see you guys next time.